Back one more time. It's your boy Aces Galvin coming at you guys with the next episode, my life story, as usual. I think we're on 35 right now. I think. So, if you guys watched the last episode, you know that we just got finished grinding it out in Virginia, trying to figure out what we're gonna do to get out of there. We get out of there. I moved back to Florida. So if you guys watched the last episode, you know everything that happened in Virginia. Let's talk about what I was aiming for in Florida. At this point, like I told you guys a long time ago, and I was telling people a long time ago, I told you guys in the older episodes, and I told people back then, I gotta find the person I'm looking for. I'm like, the person I'm looking for, the person I need to be with for the rest of my life is in Florida. Somewhere. I believe she was in Orlando or something. So that's what I was kind of looking for. That's essentially what I was aiming for. I'm like, yo, I gotta get there to find out who she is, blah, blah, blah. At first, I thought it could be one of the girls I was talking to. I was talking to a girl named Nancy. I was talking to a girl named Joyce. Joyce was a Dominican girl. She was from the Dominican Republic. She was really intelligent, really artistic. She was really nice. She's cool. She had a lot of things about her, but she also was one of those girls that was one of those chicks that was with one dude for like fucking their whole life. And you know what happens when that happens? You get like, they're like mini versions of like the dude that they deal with. It's retarded. Like, I know some of y'all can relate to that. It's like everything that they do, everything that they like, everything that the way they speak is all essentially that guy, because that's kind of like their role model, because they've been with them for so damn long. She was with one dude for mad long. And after, I dealt with her for mad long. I was dealing with her for like 4 months straight, just talking to her. Couldn't wait to see her. I get down to Florida. Now, mind you, it got real intense between me and her. It was on some like, yo, when I see you, it's going to be popping type stuff. Like, not in a bad way, but y'all know what I mean. And when I got to Florida, I moved into an apartment with a gay dude and some really dirty white kid. No offense to any Caucasians. It was Gene and Addison. Now, I don't know. There's so much to talk about in this situation. I don't know which way to start. This was 2009. Okay, I got down there in the summer of 2009. The goal was to find the woman I was looking for my entire life. Pretty much, I always felt like that was where I needed to go to find whoever this woman was. So I got there after all this time, and I went there dolo. So I moved into this 2-bedroom apartment, but I don't have a room. I moved into kind of like just the corner, like a very small corner of like the den, like kind of like the living room, right? I didn't care where I went. I asked my brother, I was like, yo, can you find me somewhere to stay? Because I don't want to move back to Palm Bay. I want to go to Orlando, because, that's where everything's at. He's like, all right, we got to do that, blah, blah, blah. He gets me this place with these 2 guys. Now, one guy is a Haitian kid, but he's gay. And the other dude, like I said, is some really weird-looking dude. Now, I met this dude, this Addison guy, before when I was in Palm Bay a long time ago, but he looked completely different now. He's mad washed up. I'm cool with him, but he was mad washed up. Essentially, long story short, I move in there. The first day that I got there, the first thing I wanted to do was see Joyce. I wasn't worried about anything else. I was like, yo, I want to see her. I'm trying to get it popping, blah, 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 blah. Don't see her for the first day. I'm like, it's whatever. Second day comes. Don't see her for the second day. And I'm like, damn. Third day comes, and I finally see her, and I'm just kind of like, all right, yo, like, we're chilling. Everything's all good. We're like pretty much alone. Now, mind you, this is kind of like the first time I actually seen her, right? Listen to this shit. I see her, and I'm like, talking to her. We still, our connection's good. We're connecting. We're on the couch. We're chilling. Next thing you know, I guess like a surge of emotion came over her, and she just starts going nuts. Like, not like crazy, but just on me. And, it's mad intense, and the next thing I know, she tells me pretty much to essentially, she's like, yo, like, essentially, she's like, let's smash. And I'm just like, for some reason, at that point, I was thinking, due to all my other relationships, I'm like, you know what, I don't really want to start this off like this, because if I start this off like this, then what's going to happen is I'm going to top this out. And what I mean by that is, if I went through and the first thing I did was, yo, the first time we actually really meet each other, let me go ahead and smash, even though I've been talking to you for like 4 or 5 months. The first time I meet you, the first thing I do, the first time I see you is, yo, let me hit it. I'm going to hit it this very first time, even though she wants me to. Then what I was thinking is, usually with relationships, because you guys got to remember, I was thinking about the more long term. I was like, yo, I want to be with somebody I'm actually going to be with. And I'm tired of playing all these games with all these females. I kind of just want to be with somebody I can make mine. Just mine. Like, that's all I really wanted. Essentially, off that very first time, it was kind of like, I was like, nah. I was like, chill. I was like, nah. I'm like, yo, on reality, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. We don't even need to do that right now. Let's focus on getting a little bit closer before we make that decision, because if I start doing anything rash like that, then it's gonna fucking, that's all it's gonna be. And when that fucking dies down, which it always does, eventually that kind of sexual energy will eventually die down. When it does, what the hell is gonna be left? There's no foundation. Essentially, you be in your relationships, and your relationships are kind of like your building. So I look at it like you're building a stairway. So at the top of the stairway would come the intimacy, the sexual aspect of it, and if you want to get married, that shit and stuff like that comes at the top. But the foundation is, what's at the bottom. So you're thinking, friendship, trust, loyalty, acceptance, blah 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 blah. You build all these things as you go up. But if you go ahead and you fucking start off on the first day, you have one step built, which is getting to know the chick, and you fucking fuck her on the first day, like just straight whatever, then you plateau at that top stair, because once you hit that point, there's really not much where else you can go higher than that, and it plateaus a lot of relationships. And then the only thing that those relationships survive off of is the sexual energy, which is bad, because I'm telling you right now, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. So when I told her no, essentially she got mad fucking embarrassed, like, oh shit, like, I guess that never happened to her before. She never had somebody be like, nah, chill. Because, like, I told her, I was like, yo, I'm like, nah, can't do that, because what's going to end up happening is, this is more important to me than that, and I don't really actually just want to fucking come out of the blue, come down here, do that, because it seems a little rash on her part. That's what I told her. Come to find out, I was correct. The only reason she wanted to do that is because she was trying to drown the emotion of the last dude that she was dealing with. Which, if I would have did it, I would have opened myself up to that, and then I would have got screwed over. And if I didn't do it, I would have got screwed over just like I did. Essentially, what happened is, right after that happened, she didn't want to deal with me in that manner, because she still had feelings for her ex, who she eventually got back with, and later on married the nigga, like right after, like literally, like I'm not kidding, like this was like, she married him literally within months after that. So I was talking to her for 4 months. I see her, that shit happens, and then she marries her fucking ex. Makes no sense. Mind you, she did need to stay in the country, essentially, so she did do that. Partially the reason, I guess you could say, was to stay in the country, but that's not how they made it come off. They made it come off as if they actually got married to be actually legitimately getting married. Either way, that shit was a blow. That shit hurt. Nance, which is the other girl I was talking to, was like a best friend type. As soon as I got to Florida, she was only there for 1 month, and then she moved back to Germany. Screw over. So now I'm sitting there with nobody like to fucking deal with, and I'm just kind of like, yo, what the hell am I gonna do? That shit sucked. What the hell? So, real quick, that's kind of how all of Florida started off, like Orlando started off, and this was in 2009, so it started off pretty messed up. Those two things were kind of like an emotional blow to me, and you guys got to think about it, like, in the last couple relationships that I was in, it was like one girl played me, left her alone, got back with her, got played again. Next relationship, talked to some girl, get played again. At this point, I'm thinking loyalty is not really something that really actually works too well. And I'm kind of looking at the whole situation like, you know what? I'm starting to notice a trend here that you can't trust these chicks. Like, essentially, you just really can't. It's kind of really difficult. It is extremely difficult to really expect someone's complete loyalty nowadays, at least back then and now. So like I said, this is 2009. Long story short, after that whole situation happened with Joyce and Joyce ended, I'm at this point where I'm like, damn. So I had Mia, like I screwed that up, and then I'm thinking like, damn, Mia was really the only legitimate, like, faithful one. But Shadi, on the other hand, she had so many things good about her, but at the same time, like, I just couldn't do that. I had to let her go and let her do her own thing. Shadi could have easily been the person that I could have been with for the rest of my life in reality. Shadi definitely could have been that person. She knew me very well. She was very patient. We dealt with a lot of things together. She was a good partner. She was one of those people that always held me down, no matter what. I didn't have to worry about her holding me out. She was always down for that. The only thing is, like, random spurts of, like, disloyalty, but everybody makes mistakes, you know what I'm saying? So that's not really a surprise with that. It ain't like I haven't made mistakes and whatnot, but I try to at least be loyal to any chicks that I actually deal with, because I just don't feel the need to be playing games like that. So, that's that. So the next thing that ended up happening was, I'm sitting there like, yo, you know what? Since I'm here, and since I should have been doing this stuff before, I was like, yo, let me go ahead and get into college. So what I do is, there's a college not too far from where I lived in Orlando, so I ended up getting into college. I ended up going there, and when I was in college, I was meeting people, but I wasn't really meeting anybody. It's hard for me to make new friends just off the bat, especially with people in the South. It's just difficult. I don't know why. Just when I was there, it was mad difficult. I was still living in that house with Addison and Jean. Mad retarded things was going on with them. I was trying to deal with that situation. It was mad hard, just to some fact that I didn't have anything. I had no room. I was just kind of like at the bottom, and I had to work my way up. I ended up getting into school. I ended up getting school money. I ended up buying me a car. The car was giving me a lot of problems, so I didn't get to use it too much, but I did actually buy one. So, the next important thing that happened was Zis comes through and tells me, hey, like, let's go ahead and get an apartment together. Let's get an apartment together. I'm like, really? Where? He's like, like somewhere near where your school is. So I'm like, cool. I've been living with these guys for mad long. It's getting real tense in there because I'm getting tired of that mad nasty shit, like coming home and there's fucking shit on the toilet and on the floor. Like, how the fuck does that happen? I coming in and hearing Jean getting fucked by some dude. Yo, do y'all know what that's like? Matter of fact, we're going to talk about some of the things I dealt with in the next episode, because that's going to be something you guys are going to probably enjoy to hear about and hear me get pissed off about, is that. So next episode, we're going to get into all the fucking stupid shit that I had to deal with there and how I left that place and me moving into the next place. It's your boy, Aces Galvin. I'm out.